All right, let's bring it back and wrap it up. Oh, see, you think it can't get any better. And then you realize, oh, wait, you have Holly Hillier, the leader of the #1 team in the network, who's about to pour life into you. Are you kidding me? It just keeps getting better and better. Holly, I think I made you a co-host. So
awesome. I can unmute myself, which is really all I need to do.
Yay, yay. Thank you so much for being here to share some time with us today.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. And Robert, that filled me, right? Like, oh, you guys, oh, you're so blessed to be on this team. And I mean, Kendra, I wasn't on for Kendra's part, but she's like, one of my favorite people ever.
She's so good.
She's so good. I take inspiration from her. Just like, I follow her on Instagram and I'm like taking inspiration from her and how she does storytelling, like in her stories and her music and I just love her.
So good. So you guys probably all know Holly. You probably follow her on social. She lives in South Carolina. Yes, I always get it. Yes. South Carolina or North Carolina? South Carolina. Yep. And is a mom to 2 kiddos, was an engineer, which is why my dad was an engineer. So that's why I think I'm so drawn to what you do. Was an engineer, is now a full-time Beachbody coach, currently leading the #1 team in the network. And it's been so cool for me as someone who's, been in it for a little while to watch her slow, just come up and then to watch her do it in a way that to me is the way to do it, just that's what I love so much and she's doing it with a baby here and a little one here. And your oldest one, Sam, is artistic and he's painting. And I'm like, Sam, you need to come to my house. I love this.
He's my man. Yeah.
So great. And so she's doing it with not a lot of time, y'all. She's not doing it, as someone who's just home and is only doing Beachbody. She's building the #1 team in the network, holding a child and, caring for a toddler with a husband. So all that to say that if she's doing it, we can do it too, to the degree that we want to do it. She can do it. We can do it. That's the beautiful part about this business is all these success stories just show us that it's possible for us too. And Holly knows what our team goal is for 2020. And it makes me a little bit nauseous when we talk about it because it's still so new and nothing we've ever done before. But 12 years in, I mean, it's time to go for something new that makes you feel a little like you want to puke, So
amazing.
Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. And when someone who's leading the #1 team in the network comes on to share what is working, we take notes and we listen and then we apply. So get your notebooks ready again. And Holly, I'm going to mute myself. Make sure you have it on speaker view. And we're just going to let you go. And hopefully you can talk. And then if you have time, I know Robert went over a little bit, but if you have a little bit of time, we'll try not to go over too much. But I would love if they had an opportunity to ask you a couple questions.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay.
So I have to warn you guys, I get really fired up and talking about this stuff. And then we just had Robert on and I drank Energized. So I'm like all the things. So you guys have had your cups filled. You should be ready to take the world. And right now I think it's funny that Julie mentioned that I was an engineer because it kind of goes back to this business and how I built this business and how I help my coaches to me is very systematic. And I think that goes back to being an engineer. And then I was seeing some success. It wasn't crazy fast. Like Julie said, I kind of have built my way up. It's been this slow and steady process. And I really wanted my coaches to be able to duplicate that process. And so I'm going to kind of talk you guys through how I start with the new coaches in terms of what are their goals, how are my coaches then building to diamond pretty much within 90 days, those coaches that are really in it, really my coaches are yes, I'm ready to build a big business. And then from there, how are we getting to 2-star? Because there are steps from brand new coach basics of Success Club up to 2-star. If you can get brand new coach up to 2-star, not only are you going to be a key player in this team hitting top 10, but you now know everything that you need to know to build to 15-star, to build your own top 10 team, to build to be the #1 coach. because this business is simple. We overcomplicate it. We get in our way. There's nothing hard about this business. So when I have new coaches join the team, most of my coaches, because if you guys have ever watched me, I talk about coaching a lot. It is where my passion is. Like my poor husband, last night I told him I'll take the night off. I mean, like at 8:30, I still needed like my 30 minutes after I put the boys down, but I was like, I will be present with you. And I was like, pick something for us to watch. And we started watching a Taylor Swift documentary. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's like my spirit animal. Oh my gosh, this is how I felt. And oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, I need to work. And he's like, there's no hope, because you love what you do so much that everything is just, it's all in one. And so I want you to think about that too. Where is your passion in this business? And so for me, it really is in coaching. And so I share that passion publicly with people. And I tell them, I want to help women build big businesses. That is what I want. And so most of my coaches, when they come in, that's what they tell me. I want to build a big business, because that is what I'm sharing and that is what I'm asking for. So when those women come in, I ask them, kind of ask them. In the new coach training, I have like a little welcome video. And I say, I want to hear your first 3-month goals. They're all brand new. How would they know what those 3-month goals should be? So then I tell them what those 3-month goals should be. And I say, most of my coaches who come in to build a large business are hitting Success Club all 3 months. Really, you're going to hit Success Club every single month of your business. In month 1, you'll hit Success Club and you're going to hit Emerald. In month 2, you hit Success Club and we're continuing to build you to Diamond. In month 3, we're going to be Diamond and you're going to be an official Success Starter. Those words don't mean a lot to them because they're new. But when I get the email back from them saying, Holly, here are my goals, those are their goals. And now we're on the same page. And I tell them, listen, and when I set those goals, I said, this is for my moms who want to come in and build big businesses. And most of them have said that's what they want to do. And so they repeat those exact goals back to me. And now we are at the same place moving forward. Now, my job is not to push someone to Diamond in 90 days. My job is not to, push someone to get Success Club. My job is to support my coaches in their goals. So when people ask me like, oh, I don't have coaches showing up or something like that, I'm like, well, the first thing you need to ask them is, what are their goals? And if they say, it's just a little more work than I thought, I may not be in this, like maybe I'll come back in a few months, or like I'm just gonna like post publicly, but I don't think I'm gonna do inviting, and maybe I don't want to get to Emerald, or maybe it's not Diamond for me right now. That is okay, because I am going to support you and your goals. You are not a failure because your coach doesn't want to build a business. Your time should be spent finding more people who do want to build this business. You 100% always need to be in recruitment mode, invite mode. You should never go into maintenance mode with your team. Because I've seen too many coaches like, I have 5 girls, they say they want to build a business, I'm going to be 5-star elite. 1 out of 10 for me will make it to Diamond. 1 out of 10. It's kind of like the 1 out of 10 who you invite, warm market, might buy a challenge pack from you. I think maybe 1 out of 10 coaches I recruit will get to Diamond. And you can look at this and say, gosh, whoa, I need to recruit a lot of coaches. And those are more cold market, right? These are people maybe, those results will be better for people who have been through challenge groups and they've seen great results with you and they believe in the product. But I recruit a lot of people who haven't even done that yet, right? So these are very cold market. And so you can look at that and think, oh, that's a lot of people that I have to find for me to hit these goals. Or you can look at it and say, this is just a numbers game. And so that is what I teach my coaches, going back to their goals from day 1. So day 1, when we start building, there is never a month that you don't hit Success Club. The second my coaches do not hit Success Club is the second they have just told me, I'm not working my business. If you are here to build a full-time income producing business and you cannot find 3 customers, that's not a business. I mean all of this with love. This is like tough love, Holly. But I mean, if before you signed up to coach, if someone had said to you, oh, you can build a 6-figure business and just find 1 customer a month, that's hysterical. That's ridiculous. That's laughable. And so I tell my coaches, you want to build a 6-figure business, you need to be finding 5 customers a month. And we sign our customers as discount coaches. So that month 1 goal, we're going to find you 5 customers. You sign them as DCs. Bam. There's Emerald right there, right? We're going to keep repeating that. How many coaches is Diamond? Diamond is 12 coaches. It's not 8 coaches and 2 Emeralds. Diamond is 12 coaches. So if you hit Success Club 10, you find 5 customers, because that is a silly amount when I'm telling you I'm going to help you build a business to 6 figures by finding 5 customers a month. You now have 15 discount coaches underneath you. You have 3 more coaches than you need to get to Diamond. For my coaches, I also encourage them to sign up a spouse account or a controlled account. And we talk about why that is financially smart. This is not, oh, I'm your coach and trying to get a little more volume. Like, I don't need your spouse's volume. Julie doesn't need your spouse's volume on that challenge pack. That's not what we need. What I need is for you to set up your business from the beginning in a way that will produce you the most income down the road. And so I have my coaches sign up their spouse. And then when we are talking building to Diamond, as they are getting there, we are putting 2 discount coaches underneath a spouse account. And that just leaves that 1 more Emerald. And as they're pushing to Diamond, they're finding more customers, right? In month 3, we are picking up momentum. In month 3, the expectation is, okay, month 1, we've made our dirt list. We're just inviting everyone who will buy from us, right? And if you have a hang up around that, I tell my coaches, and this is how I had a hang up around that. I didn't talk to my mom about it. My mom, my sister laughed at me. I mean, my mom laughed to my face. She was like, oh, that's really funny, Holly. What a cute little project you're doing. I'm like, okay. So like, I didn't invite my mom, didn't invite my sister, because I was like, they just aren't going to support me. And then our team was going for elite, and I had to build my husband. So I tell my coaches all the time, I will teach you from my mistakes, because I made a lot of mistakes. I had no one teaching me. So also, you have no, like, gosh, are you blessed to have Julie teaching you? I had no one teaching me. I didn't sign my spouse up early. I finally signed him up. I didn't build him to Diamond. So we were going for elite. I had 4 coaches and I needed a 5th Diamond. And I built him to Diamond in 10 days. Now, the only way I could do that was, I mean, I'd been consistent. That was 1.5 years into my business, almost 2 years into my business. I'd been consistent for 2 years. So I had hundreds of people to follow up with. So it just became about, how many invites can I send out? And then how many discount coaches can I sign? And this was the week before Thanksgiving. So let's put that in perspective too. Like, the worst week, like, who wants to go join a challenge group when you're preparing to like go stuff your face? Like, it was a bad time, but I still needed Emeralds. And it was at this point that I finally asked my mom, my sister, and I was like, I just need your help. And it was so funny because it wasn't like, Mom, you're gonna love Shakeology. It was, I need your help. And I wasn't able to ask them and get over myself until it became about my team. Because I was like, if I don't ask them, my team doesn't hit elite. Like, let go of my freaking ego and ask my mom for help. And I compare it, I tell my coaches, think about it like you're opening a restaurant, and it's like, if we all were able to go to restaurants at one point in time again, and it's opening night. Would you not invite your mother? My mother would be offended. She'd be so like, it's opening night and we're all like excited. She would be so mad at me. And so I tell my coaches to think of it that way and to approach that dirt list in that way. So in their first month, a lot of times it is not, hey, I'm a health and fitness expert. No, it's one, I'm starting this journey. Do you want to join me? Or two, listen, I'm going for a huge goal and I need your help. I'm starting a business. I need your help getting it off the ground and running. You have to be willing to humble yourself. We're asking for help, and we're also then, like, my mom is like, thank goodness for Beachbody on Demand right now. And I'm like, I know. And my sister drinks her Shakeology and is like obsessed with her beach bars now. But it's not like I'm like asking them, like for their kidney. I'm like, hey, help me. And then you can go like work out and have amazing shakes and like use things that change your life. So anyway, that month one, my coaches are really finding success with more market. And then in month 3, I tell my coaches, you guys know, we have to focus on being that product of the product, and we have to focus on helping people see results. So when you're looking for that last emerald to help you get to diamond, my second emerald, besides I had my husband, and then my second emerald was one of my friends who had started with me 21 Day Fix 2 months prior. And she had lost 20 pounds. And I said to her, and she was an engineer with me, we worked together, and she was like, yeah, I'm not super interested in like building the business. And I was like, that's fine. What about all these people who have asked you how you're losing weight? I mean, we worked together at work, and everyone was like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, like I'm doing 21 Day Fix. She moves on. I was like, would you be willing to be like, hey, would you want to do a group with me? Like, would you want me to show you how I do it? And she was like, sure. I was like, I'll run the whole group. But just when someone asks you, would you be like, hey, do you want more info on that? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, if you do that, it'll pay for your Shakeology next month. I was like, so we're going to find 2 people that have asked you that, and we're going to get your Shakeology paid for. So myself and Amanda went in a chat, and then she put her friends who are interested. So everyone who had asked her, she was like, hey guys, I'm going to run a really fun group. I can give you all the info on what I'm doing. And we all got in a chat together, and we had 2 people sign up, and I signed them as discount coaches under Amanda. She got her Shakeology paid for. I got my emerald, and I got to diamond. And I have people say, and this is also, what I really tell my coaches in terms of perspective. So, okay, you just gave $100 away. Like those could have been your discount coaches. One, I would have freaking paid $100. I would have paid $100 to get to diamond. Diamond's not about the money. And for those of you who have made it to diamond, nothing that magical happens. Your team cycle bonuses go up. Great. Most likely, you're not making a ton of team cycle bonuses where it's going to make a huge difference, right? Diamond is where you separate yourself from every other coach out there who's working on their living room, working out with their kids. What makes you different? It's the fact that you now are not only succeeding in your health and fitness journey, but you are now succeeding in your business journey. You have 2 before and afters you need to show to your followers, your health and fitness and your business. It's fine to be in your before right now. And you should be showing every single day the work that you're putting in to get to that after, to get to that diamond. Just like we show up and show our workouts every day. We show the journey from the before to our after. And we're always on that journey, always. And we always will be in our business. That's why I still show my business every single day. But diamond is that first step in that after. It's that first step in saying, I told you guys, I was serious. I'm a serious business owner. Not finally, because you're doing it. I'm seeing success in my business. Now, I want to show others how to do it. Just like with a before and after in your health and fitness journey. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I'll show you how to do the workouts. I'll give you the meal plans. Now you hit diamond. All right, guys, you want to recreate what I just did? I'll show you how. I've got all the trainings. You've watched me. It's super fun. We get to get on Zoom calls. We have community. And it's totally doable in small pockets of time, just like I did. So you want to be showing them the journey so that when you hit diamond, it's that momentum boost for you. It's where for me, it was where I gained the confidence to say, now I'm that expert and I will show you how. And then from there, so that's what we're doing that. And then we're going to do a big like invite surge to coaching. And you're going to use that. I just hit the top 1% in the company. Right now, this company is growing faster than ever before. I had to reach out and invite you to this opportunity that is changing my life. And I had to give you the opportunity to get in early on one of the fastest growing teams in Beachbody. You guys, it is in early in your business, in your downline. Do you know the volume at the top of my downline? I have a coach, I invited her 3 years ago. She just started last summer. So it's been like 9 months. And she's like, why? What the hell was I doing? The amount of volume I would have underneath me that is potential income. She was like, it is sickening to me. And she's in 2-star qual now. 9 months in the business and 2-star qual. She was like, why? Like, she's like, I had to get over my own ego. But that is something as a new diamond coach that you have to offer people. A spot at the top of your downline, a spot at the top of a downline that will be one of the next top businesses in all of Beachbody. And you have to believe that too. So all this stuff I'm saying, like, I believe it. You have to believe it. Because if you don't believe it, it's not going to come up. Like, if you're like, yeah, like, join me, there's a spot, some, like, I'll put volume underneath you. Like, no. Like, when I talk to potential coaches too, I'm like, listen, you want to know why you should join me? Because you should join a freaking business building team. Because there are too many coaches out there who are saying, yeah, join me, I'll coach you. And then they quit a month later. And no one's there to help you. And I feel deeply about this because there's not volume placed underneath me. I want coaches to know that the coach you sign up with matters. And all of you have the resources to help your new coaches see fast success. All the success your team is seeing, you have those resources to get them. You could have just started last week. You don't have to train them because all the resources are set up. It's already done for you. You do not have to recreate anything. But you have the opportunity to pass these resources on to them. So believe that. Use that diamond point as your stepping stone and as your momentum builder. From there, that's where I want you to find that rock star business builder. Go back through all your customers. Tell them what you've done. Tell them about the business you're building. They're already doing it. So they're really easy to invite. Do public invites, on stories, or share about coaching. Celebrate this diamond milestone so much. I get like made fun of because I'm like, another coach in the top 1%, 1%, 1%. But what do my followers hear? Holly's creating successful coaches. Find your branding, your phrases that people will associate with you. So I always say my moms. Do I sign up coaches that aren't moms? Of course. But is that my avatar? Yes. I'm looking for moms who want to build big businesses. What do people say to me? I'm a mom and I really want to build a big business. Like, what you say is what people hear and it's what you're going to attract. So use that diamond as that stepping stone. All the meanwhile, we're hitting Success Club. We're hitting Success Starters. You guys, when you hit Success Starters, you get to be in a test group. There are no words for what I literally became a top 10 coach to be able to get in a test group. It is everything. And if you need help learning how to market that, talk to Julie, because it is a marketing opportunity that, again, I had to wait. I didn't even get invited to the first test group when I was in top 10. It's insane the opportunity that you have with Success Starters, and you utilizing that to propel the health and fitness side of your business. So now you've hit Success Starters, you're in a flipping test group, and you're a diamond coach. That momentum is huge. What you're doing separates you from all those other coaches who are just posting some workouts and saying they're building a business. And that's where you're going to find your business builder. Now from here to get to 2-star, and why 2-star? I know Julie talks to you guys about this too, but 2-star, that's where income changes, right? So I always want to set the expectation. Yeah, you got to diamond in 3 months. Yep, we built a spouse, and maybe we just had a friend with some referrals. Or maybe like when I had to build my husband, it was like my mom and my sister, you know? But it was about doing it to separate myself. It was about doing it to help my team get to elite. It was about doing it for my business. But what that means is there's not a lot of volume there. You don't have coaches producing volume, right? So again, diamond is not this big income position, but 2-star is. And so when my coaches hit diamond, 1 star's next, but really it's like 1 star and 2 star together. And so I tell them, and again, this is, you have to really look at your business structure and your downline structure. So it's hard. So a lot of my coaches, and again, my husband's on my strong leg. I tell my coaches to sign their husband's or spouse or controlled account, whatever, over on weak leg. There's like different ways to do it. So whatever leg they're on, there's no wrong. But your next business builder, they better be opposite the leg that controlled account is on. Because my goal is you hit diamond, you have the spouse account, and then you're going to sign up your business builder opposite them. And you're going to say to your business builder, look, I've got to build a diamond again, and we're going to do it together. We are going to run together. Because a lot of times these new coaches sign up and they see you as this big shiny diamond, and they think like, oh, well, they don't get what it's like to be a new coach, or whatever you guys tell yourselves, like, well, Julie doesn't know, she's been in this 10 years and she has a social media following and blah, blah, you know, whatever. You want to be in the trenches with coaches at all times. And it's such a beautiful opportunity to say, let's build together. Oh, and guys, it'll be a little harder for me too, because I have to hit Success Club in my main account first before I can even start building that spouse account. So I get it. And I put a little extra hurdle in my way. My coaches know I am in the trenches with them. I am on calls with them every night. I mean, even just, hey, let's hop on a Zoom and we're all going to work, right? Nothing else happening. But where am I? I'm there in my pajamas. Like, you know, be in the trenches with your coaches. And so 2-star, the controllable part is you can build a controlled account. And really, that other business builder, while they may take time, the hope is that when you hit that diamond rank, you create the momentum to find that business builder. And then that's it. Like, it's one business builder that you can dive in with. Now, I know I said that for me, it is like 1 out of 10 will pop diamond. Those numbers were better when it was that warm market, right? When it was that rock star challenger, when I dug in with them. Last week, our team had 6 new diamonds. Those diamonds did not happen in a big diamond group. They did not happen by me ignoring them. Every month, and where's my list? And I work off Post-it notes. I just started going through my downline again. I go through my downline and I pick out the people who have showed up for their business. So who in there has 5, 6 coaches? No emeralds, 5, 6 coaches. They've showed up for their business. And I ask them, do you want to be a diamond in May? Or what's your diamond goal date is really what I ask them. What's your diamond goal date? Because I want them to tell me their goals so I can support them in their goals. So I say, what's your diamond goal date? Most of them are going to say May. And I get us in a really small chat thread. So our last chat thread had 10 of us in there and 6 of them popped diamond. The beauty in this business is that your mentorship, you pouring into those coaches, you saying, I'm doing this right beside you, you holding them accountable every day. And I don't even feel like I'm holding my coaches accountable. I'm like, hey, here's the invites I sent. Like, I told them they're holding me accountable. I'm like, all right, guys, I hate inviting, but I need to do 10 coach invites. So I'm going to go do them now. I'm in the trenches with them. The trainings are there. But you being with your coaches is what's going to make the difference. And then 2-star, again, that's where income changes. That's where we're able to open that second business center. That's where also I have coaches who will get to 2-star without a spouse account. Amazing. But the beauty, and we don't need to talk placement and all of that, but the beauty in that is that controlled account, now you've been building that strong leg for them just by naturally working your business, doing nothing but placing them in a great spot. I that second business center now is going to naturally build their weak leg. If that controlled account is emerald, you're just throwing away volume. You're using the volume and making less money off of it. Why would you do that? Why? It doesn't make any sense. So I not only, I want my coaches to get to 2-star as quickly as possible so we can open that second business center, which changes, you're making more, even just in a customer purchase, putting commission down there and then getting bonuses off of there and matching bonuses. But even that, so that controlled account is going to team cycle bonus. And then you are going to make a matching bonus. Why not make that matching bonus bigger? Like, you're just giving away money everywhere if you do not maximize the team cycle bonus rank of diamond. And so that is also another reason even if you're like, I've got one business builder on each side, build that account. It makes sense financially. All right. So anyway, so I can go through a million things, but for me, the basics of getting my coach from that new coach to 2-star, they come in, the expectation is we're hitting Success Club 10. We're adding 5 coaches to our network every single day. In 3 months, we've added 15 coaches, diamonds 12. Boom, that's it. That's it. The coaches are a number. You have 15, you only need 12. Some are gonna cancel, go inactive. Great, we'll figure that out, and you still have your extra coaches by hitting that Success Club 10. Done, we hit diamond. Now, we're gonna use that momentum. That next month, we're gonna sign our first business builder. Use that momentum. So month 4, if they haven't already, a lot of them have already signed business builders, but if you haven't, that month 4 is like, all right, this is where I'm going to start identifying the business builders who are going to run with me to diamond. And you're going to start building that controlled account. And that controlled account's going to take longer because you've got to keep, the most important thing, first off, is your solid diamond, right? So you got to keep you a solid diamond. I've never dropped diamond. My coaches, everyone's always worried about like 6-week qualification holds and all that. No. That's ridiculous. That if you ever drop, like, why get to diamond and drop it? There's no point in that, right? This isn't like some like fake rank or something. So like, get to diamond, and that's why Success Club 10 with 5 coaches every month, you're gonna do that first because you're gonna build solid underneath you. And guys, I'll tell you, as you find those business builders, it becomes a lot easier because I'm sure you're like, oh, this person's going inactive and this person's canceling. Oh my gosh, like I gotta backfill but as your business builders are there, they're stable. They're getting their Shakeology. So like it gets easier. But in the beginning, keep putting 5 new coaches underneath you. Spread them out. Watch that downline. Make sure you know who's stable. Have a second emerald, a stable diamond. For me, like a controlled account, yep, I can have that 1 emerald on one side. But a stable diamond is 2 emeralds on the other side. Because this sounds horrible, but I get like laughed at. I said it on some corporate call and Doug Moss was laughing at me because I was like, I don't trust anyone. This is your business. This is your business. This is my business. And this is also why I said, like, I'm always in phase 1. I'm always recruiting because I can recruit 20 coaches in a month and they're like, yeah, I'm in this. I can pop 6 diamonds last week. Oh, great. Holly looks all fancy. How many people are going to stick with it? How many people are willing to do the work? Those 3 months to get to diamond, that's freaking hard work. You guys know this is hard work. Who's willing to do that every single day, year after year? You get tired. Oh my gosh, I had a baby, or like we're moving. We moved cross country 3 times. We drove all 3 times with my dogs, which is insane. And I've had 2 babies. I've been on bed rest for 6 weeks and I had an internet. We lived internationally. We lived in France for a year. We didn't even freaking operate in France. I lived in France. The year I went top 10, I worked it from a country we didn't even live in, 6-hour time difference, baby who didn't sleep, husband working all the time. When I first had my kid, my husband was living in France. Like, I just don't even want to hear it. Like, it's just excuses, and life is hard. Life's hard, but it's hard for everyone, right? We all have a different hard. We just have to choose, like, do we give up on our business when life gets hard, or do we dig into it? This business saves me. It saves me time and time again. When life is hard and I'm tired, coming and working this business gives me energy. If this is draining you, you need to ask yourself why you're doing it. And you need to re-find your joy in this business. If your coaches are draining you because they're like, I don't want to do anything, go find new coaches. Go find coaches who want to run with you. And guess what? Those coaches who are complaining, when they start seeing your success and all those other new coaches seeing success, they might change their tune. They might decide, oh, maybe the work is worth it. Or they won't. And if they don't, they never were going to. They would never be your diamond coaches. They would never be your business building coaches, right? So like, it's hard, right? And the balance is hard. But this should bring you joy and energy. This I love. And you are gonna have to give up things too. I'm not saying you're not. I tell my coaches all the time, you need to know your priorities in life, and your priorities do not have to be my priorities. My priorities are like my family, my business. That's it. So when someone asks me, before all the quarantine stuff, but when neighbors be like, oh, like, come on out to the neighborhood party. And I'm like, I really don't want to. I'm like a super introvert too. So I'm like, that wouldn't really bring me joy. Like, and it takes time away from my business. Like, mm-mm. And I've had to ask myself that question too, even with the business and my family. So with my children, I do this business for my family. I started this business to retire from my engineering job. I continued it to bring my husband home. Then I continued it so that we could stop moving. We moved 8 times in 10 years so that I can find our forever home and stop that. And now I build it for the financial freedom of my family, but the financial freedom of my moms too, right? It's more about them. But I get coaches who get sucked into calls. And they're like, I was on a call with this coach and this coach. I'm like, are they showing up for you? Or are they just pulling your energy? And they're like, no, like they're just complaining. My coaches have to show up first before I get on a one-on-one call with them. I control my time. I control my schedule. Because the second I start giving time to those coaches who suck from me, and I'm taking it away from my babies who are growing up so fast, is the second I start resenting this business. So take control of your time. You're a business owner. You control this business. You control the amount of time that you want to give this business. And you need to be okay with the amount of time you give this business and if it aligns with your goals. And so I get up early and I stay up late and I have office hours in the middle of the day, like during nap times. And then I'm with my boys other times. The only time I take out my phone is for a quick story. I'm not messaging. All my alerts are turned off. I work my business or I'm with my family. That's it. Everything else, any other question or something that would take my time away from my normal schedule, I ask myself, does it serve my family or does it serve my business? And if it doesn't serve either one of them, I don't do it. I literally saying I watched that Taylor Swift documentary and like it was a really big deal because we do have a TV now because we have a TV in the workout room. But we haven't watched TV since like the first year I started my business, probably 4 years. Even my husband doesn't watch TV. Like my kids don't watch TV. And that's not like I don't give my kids screen time. I took that out of my life because it wasn't serving my family and it wasn't serving my business. And when I started this, I mean, I was working full time, but I didn't have kids. And oh my gosh, look, having kids, gosh, let me not get a full-time job without kids. I had like all the freaking time in the world. Like I could come home from work and work all night. You know, it was very different. Or I could like watch TV. So I just literally in every single moment of my life, I'm a big proponent of time blocking, understanding where your time is going, and making sure that you are okay with where your time is going. Make your time serve you. And be okay with hustle seasons too. Gosh, I mean, you guys, you're going for top 10 this year. Like, I mean, you're in top 10, but like you're a top 10 team. You will be a 2021, I guess is what they'll call it, 2021 top 10 team. So Julie's year is like a hustle year. This year, I mean, I'll tell you guys, like, I want it so bad for my team. I want us to be number one. as the hustle year, there's not going to be a lot of sleep. And it's a year. I'm like, oh my gosh. But like, it's a decision. And it's a decision I made with my family too. If you have spouses that aren't supportive, like you have to have those conversations too. And if you're pushing for diamond and a diamond push or whatever, I'm going to hit diamond this month, like make that decision. Listen, it's just going to happen. And this is a push season. And it doesn't always have to look like this, but you control your schedule. You control what you give your energy to. And then you just have to be okay with the results from those actions. So if I want us to be number one, but I was like, oh, I'm not going to really work at night, like those actions don't align to that goal. And so I'm just always making sure if we finish this year number 2, I want to wake up on January 1st knowing there was nothing more I could have done. The worst feeling is not failing. The worst feeling is regret. I fail constantly. Every day I'm actually looking for ways to fail, especially with social media. It tells me what I'm doing right. You know, if I can find every way that I fail, I know those aren't a solution for me and then I need to try something else. But regret is what I don't want. And I don't want to wake up one day either and feel like I regret that I didn't watch my kids grow up. So it's all a balance. It's all a balance. And there's no right or wrong, but it has to be aligned to your goals. Anyway, okay, I could go on like a million tangents. I could talk all freaking day. What questions? I want to answer your questions, guys. Yeah.
There were a couple in the chat, but I think now that you've, who's brave and wants to maybe unmute, and let's just do 1 or 2, and then we're going to do our drawing for our prize at the end. Who wants to ask a question?
Is that okay if I do?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, I'm really intrigued how you made the transition from leaving your job and starting to share more about the business opportunity in your social media following. So I'm definitely like a huge advocate of my groups and my posse and all the team things, but I'm nervous about sharing the business part of it because I have a big career that I do love, but I'm also like inspired by people like you and I follow you anyway. So this call's been amazing. So thank you. But how did you make that transition and make it feel comfortable? And, you know, a lot of people, I'm a Target leader. I work for Target and I have a lot of people part of my posse that are from Target. So I don't know if that question makes sense, but I'd love to hear a little bit about that. Okay.
Oh, it totally does. So I have most of my coaches are working full-time jobs. My top coaches are nurses and lawyers. And lawyers with very like high-powered jobs, all of that. So we have this conversation a lot. And I think I think coaches think they have to say, in order to talk about the business, like I'm working to leave my full-time job, right? And there are so many other ways to talk about the business. So one of my coaches, she has such a cool job. She is a jewelry designer for like this big buyer company. And so she travels the world, literally like talking to jewelry designers, and it's amazing. And she's like, I don't want to leave that. I'm like, then don't. But why are you coaching? And so you can say like, oh my gosh, like I love this part of my job. Like how cool is it to get to work for Target? I mean, that's freaking incredible. Like I have an awesome job. Everyone wants to like work for Target. It's amazing. Here is what that job doesn't fill for me, right? And you don't even have to compare them, right? But what does Beachbody do for you that's so different? You know, is it that you are, you know, helping women on their health and fitness journeys, or even more talking about like the business, like I am getting to help women. I'm getting to use those skills that I've learned from Target and help other women who may not have the same opportunity that I do now grow businesses. And so it's not saying there's anything wrong with that job, but it's like, one, it could be like, how has that job helped you? You know, how is it amazing? How do you feel so blessed to have that job and be able to grow this business? What in this business fills you up that, you know, it kind of completes that for you? For me, I talked a lot about teaching, and as an engineer, I was very isolated and I just missed a community. And so this provided me a community. And then it's very interesting when you own your own business because I get to build my community and I get to work with these women who I never would have worked with before. And I choose them, and that's really fun. So I think it's not saying anything wrong with that, but it's saying maybe what Beachbody does for you. And then I also think another really important thing is where you can have, like I always tell my coaches, like it's not where you are, it's where you're going. That's what you want to talk about with coaching. Not where you are, but where you're going. And so for like, in the beginning, it was retiring from my corporate job. Then it was retiring David. It took me like 3 years to retire David, but I kept talking about it, and it took me forever to like buy the house, right? But I kept talking about it. And so it doesn't have to be, I want to leave that job. What are those other like visions that you have for your family? And so I've previously talked about like, although I don't even know if I want to do this anymore, but that we were like wanted to buy a lake house. And I was like, I want to buy a lake house. That my husband had that. And so one of my coaches, that's her goal, is like buy a beach house. She's working a full-time job. And she's like, this provides me an opportunity. This is my beach job. This is the job that's paying for my beach house, you know? And so again, it doesn't have to be like, I don't make enough money in this job or whatever, but that's going to connect with someone, right? Maybe someone who's just making enough money and they like their job, they're making enough, they're comfortable, but that job's not going to buy them a beach house. That job's not going to take them to that like next level. That job's not going to provide that next level of freedom. And so it doesn't ever have to be about leaving one to still allow you to dream bigger in other financial aspects of your life. And also, I don't know if you have kids, but for me, another thing is like, I want to be that example for my children of an entrepreneur. Like I'm like a proud mom, freaking work at my corporate job like a boss. And then my kids get to see me freaking build a business from scratch. Like, I mean, there is no better role model. And like, you get to do that for them. And like, that's insane. That's incredible. So I think like that's a whole nother thing that would speak to other moms as well. But I think we just kind of get stuck in that, like in the loop in our head of like, well, if I'm not going to retire from my corporate job, how do I talk about it? I think there's just so many other aspects we can really talk about.
And along those same lines, not everyone wants to bring their husband home, you know, and I think that we get that in our heads too. Like, well, everyone talks about bringing their husband home. I actually am going insane that my husband's been home the last 6 weeks, and I would like him to please go back to his office. I never would like him to be home all the time, nor would he, because he's doing what he was put here on earth to do, coach young men in football. He does not want, and I don't want him to come home. So I think we get that in our heads too, that, oh, we see other successful coaches bring their husbands home. That's what I have to do. Or bring your spouse home, or your wife home, or your partner home, whatever. That's what I have to do. Actually, no. What you have to do is live into your potential with this business, whatever that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is your vision? I mean, and like, I will tell you, man, bringing David home was like, holy moly. And a really interesting thing, which now that COVID and everything's here, so we actually got a nanny. So David was home and we got a nanny, and I was like, how do I talk about this on social media? Like, wow, what a spoiled brat am I? I'm like home working my dream job. My husband's home doing nothing, and I have a nanny. Like, what's happening? But we were David does not want to be a stay-at-home dad, right? The hardest job in the world. Now he's like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this. I cannot be Mr. Dad 24/7. And so we got a nanny and found ways that he was helping me grow my business, like behind the scenes, and that allowed him to do things to fulfill his passions. And so I do think that's really important. Like, yeah, agree. I think we just, right, it's not about what oh my gosh, I had to stop following all the coaches because I kept wanting to do what they were doing. And I was so scared to talk about the mommy's help. I was like, we got a mommy's helper. She's like here a few hours a day. And I was so scared to talk about it. All these moms were like, that sounds like a dream. I was like, she helps with laundry and dishes and all of that. And again, like, I don't want to do laundry. Those are more of my no's. Doing laundry, dishes, and cleaning my house, I do not find joy in. And so I'm hiring that out. I remember Lindsay Matway talking about how she hires someone to pick up the dog poop in their backyard. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's gold. And I think sometimes too, like it's just, what is that? I mean, that like visions can be so simple. It can be finding, it can be getting the housekeeper. It can be, I didn't even know you could have someone come in and do your laundry. Like that's something we don't have that. I just have our nanny do it. But like, I didn't know that was like a thing. There are other coaches that are telling me they hire people just to do their laundry. But I'm like, these little things, these little smaller goals that you could very easily accomplish are really big things, especially, gosh, if you're working a full-time job and building this one. Like, so many people want to take those things off their plate. So yeah, what doesn't bring you joy and what does bring you joy, and talk about those.
And make sure that they are yours. You know, but I love what you said, Holly, too. Like, my priorities are my family, my business. And every time someone talks about their social, you know, pillars and what you should be taught, there's more to you than this. And I'm like, no, actually, I just really like fitness. I really do. And I really like my team, and I really like my family, and the people I like spending my time with are my family and my team. And that really is who I am. That really is who I am. Those are my priorities. Exactly. That's it. My family and my business. I build my business for my family to create memories and experiences and opportunities for my family. Those are my priorities. So I would turn down the neighborhood party too if we were doing a power hour, or I could be home with my family and play driveway tennis. I'm okay with that, because that's also going to help me someday build a house at Disney, and I'm okay with that too.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you love the freaking neighborhood party, go to the neighborhood party, because you might be Ashley Molstad, who's like, you know, loves to party, right? And I mean, she's been freaking top coach for 2 years in a row, and like, our brands could not be any more different. It doesn't matter. You just need to be you. That's what will make you at the top. That's what's going to build your business.
Well, Holly, this has just been amazing. We've learned how to tell our story. We got our buckets filled from Robert. We got logisticals from you. I mean, you couldn't have ended it any better way. Just be you, and then take all the other stuff that we were. I mean, I have like a notebook full. Do you want to stay on while we draw our winners? We've got 3 stick books that we're giving away. And I told them at the beginning, because you know how it is, Holly. Some people come on and then I got to go. I can't stay on the whole time. We didn't draw at the beginning. We're drawing at the end. So April, do you want to unmute yourself? And April's helping me draw. April's always my drawer and helps us draw. Can you unmute yourself, April?
I actually drew out the person's face.
She was doomed. She's our cooler artist.
Okay, so I had originally put all these people's names in. I'm going to draw it, but if you're not on here, you don't win. So they won't know that because they're not on here. So I'll look through to make sure that they're actually on here. So I copied everybody's names. I put them in the random name drawer. I'm going to click it. Let me wait. So first winner is Karen Utley. Is she still on? Oh, we got to check. She's still. I'm sure she's still on.
Karen, unmute yourself if you are on and you won.
I'm here. Woo-woo!
You already have this, I think, but that's okay. I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to give it to someone else.
I can definitely do that.
Yeah.
All right. Picking another random name. Molly Sigler.
Molly, I know Molly's on. Molly, unmute yourself.
I'm here.
Yay!
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 I already know who I'm giving it to.
And one more.
One more.
Last one. Nancy Tardabuano. I don't know if that person's.
I've seen her name, but I don't.
Yep, she's still on.
Hi.
Yay! Nancy. Okay.
Cool.
Karen, Molly, Nancy, please Facebook message me your mailing addresses, and I will send these out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Holly, thank you so much. I mean, my gosh, you just shared so much with us, and we're just so blessed to have had this time. And it's just so interesting that in a time where you can't leave your home, there's something about this whole experience that makes me feel even more connected. It's crazy.
It's amazing. And you guys are about to be a top 10 team. You guys and I like every single one of you I just want to make sure. I mean, I know Julie says it, but like every single person on this team matters to that goal. Like putting Success Club points on the board, like diamond star, but like everything, volume, everything you're doing matters. You are a huge part of that. And next year when Julie stands up on that stage and like that big, Sparta Nation name is behind her, like you guys will be in that, like you'll be there. You'll be there. You'll be in the photos. You are the top 10 team. Julie's not that top 10 coach. You are that top 10 team. And it does incredible things for just wait. Be at Summit, be in those photos with Julie and you guys celebrating that top 10. And that's just another huge momentum builder. And I can't wait to celebrate with you guys because you're doing it.
From your mouth to God's ears. We're on the path. We're hoping, we're working. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Sparta Nation, thank you for sharing this afternoon. I know that your brain is full now, your heart is full. You took notes, and now the most important thing you can do is what? Take action. That's right. Go do. Go do. All right. Make it a great rest of your day. Let's make this an amazing month.